more. So we want to bring in Fox Weather hurricane specialist Bryan Norcross, because we've been watching this thing, Bryan, and I don't know, that circulation looked like it moved over land, but the NHC has still kept it in place just off the coast of Louisiana.
Yeah, on the radar, it certainly looks like it's over land. Hurricane hunters found it kind of right on the coast in terms of the center that they detected. But the main thing is, wherever it is there isn't much weather or wind with that center that we're tracking. It's, you have to track the surface center because that's where the winds are at the surface in most storms. In this storm, it's all kind of ripped apart, and it's just an unusual situation that doesn't really fit the way we normally do tracking tropical systems. But anyway, here's where we are with the 45-mile-an-hour winds moving to the west at 10 on average, but obviously kind of moving around a little bit, and pressure's coming up, systems weakening, all as expected. All right, let's look at it really close up here on the radar, and there you can see if I had to put the center based on the radar, I'd put it up here, I think. But in any case, whatever, it doesn't make any difference. It's obviously, you can see that there are no yellows. It's all just kind of a uniform green. So it's just basic light rain up here. Although there are some gusty winds. I mean, if you're in that area, obviously there's a storm that has that tropical feel to it. But the weather is all down to the south here in this tail, and then in the middle levels of the atmosphere, you can see this thing spinning right here. That's where the worst weather is, right there. It's a very small circulation, and if this thing were reassembled, it would be up above the surface center, but it's just gotten completely stretched out. But this is approaching the Texas coast really quickly, and it's going to move in there to Matagorda Bay, and that general area looks like to me here in the next very few hours. Hurricane Center analyzes the winds as being tropical storm force out to about there. Obviously, there are strong gusts in those thunderstorms, and within that area, this is not uniformly tropical storm force at all. Up around the center, there's next to nothing, but there have been some gusts up over hurricane force at elevated platforms out there. So there's some real weather associated with this, and there's also been some gusts of tropical storm force along the coast, but it's really not a big deal. The worst weather is going to be in those cells moving into Texas. So here's what's going on. There's the upper level winds, and look at it blowing like this. So it's taking that surface center up here and the mid-level center down here, and it's just tilting the thing over. It's kind of tilting it back and stretching it out. And whether there's any relation anymore between those two centers, I don't know. But normally it's like a column, and the column has gotten super, super tilted. But that mid-level center is really spinning good. It's called a mesocyclone, and that's going to produce some strong winds and very heavy rain when that comes ashore. All right, here are the winds that we see out there right now. And you see Vermilion Bay still has a pretty good steady, sustained wind of 30 miles an hour. You can see where the reds are here. This is where the reds and yellows, that's where the strongest winds are, moving in the direction of the Texas coast. You can see up here at Sabine Pass, that's 31 mile an hour gusts. So we have a few, look at Lake Charles even gusting to 28. So it's a breezy day, some gusty conditions, awaiting the arrival of this stronger cell here right on the Texas coast there. Nothing yet, because the stronger weather is all behind the system. So it's kind of the second half when that comes through. All right, there's the cone from the Hurricane Center. You see they bring the center, remember this is the surface center here, over this way, but the worst weather is down here, and it's well in advance of it, and it's also moving in. Now, all this is going to be ashore in Texas later on this afternoon, and then just dying out across Texas, and that'll be it for Bertha, and maybe some beneficial rain, by the way, for the southern part of Texas, where some areas have been in drought. All right, look at the models here. The models don't know what to do with this thing. They just throwing up their hands and kind of blowing their minds, because these models, all this whole set here, they're kind of tracking that middle thing here as if it had a surface center, which it might try and do that, but I don't think there's time for much before it gets to Texas. The Google model, it's more on this one, but it doesn't know what to do, whether it's going to go backward or forward. So anyway, it's just a convoluted mess to try and forecast with the computers. Here's a model depiction, and you see the way that the winds are kind of shaped, but they're all offshore. Remember, the center is up in here. So it's this complex here coming ashore, and that's going to happen here this afternoon. So watch from about the Houston, Galveston area on down to Matagorda Bay. Look for some gusty winds as this system comes on by. Watch for any alerts that might come along. So guys, we're just about done with this, but that's a pretty healthy, think of it as a really healthy thunderstorm cell with gusty winds that will come in somewhere on the Texas coast later on today.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
and now that we're almost wrapping things up with Bertha, we're looking ahead to some other things. So curious of your thoughts on the Eastern Pacific with Hurricane Fausto, sending some big swell to Baja California and Southern California. What, if any, do you think we'll have to watch for the Hawaiian Islands going forward?
Yeah, I think mostly swells. The Fausto is going to put a lot of energy into the ocean. By the time it gets to the vicinity of Hawaii, I think they're going to know that there is a disturbance in the trade winds coming through Hawaii as whatever is left of Fausto passes the islands. I don't think there's going to be any significant effect in Hawaii because the water gets much cooler and there's some dry air involved that should tamper any kind of significant storm by the time it gets over to Hawaii.
Yeah, and Bryan, I think you've mentioned it before, when we look at storms that approach Hawaii, ones that come in from the south have that tendency to be stronger ones. Is that correct? This one's approaching from the east.
Yeah, especially this year because the water is very warm in the Eastern Pacific to the south. But north of the Hawaiian Islands, it's not really conducive to supporting anything. And so if it comes from the east, it's right on the edge and just barely warm enough. And then it gets into dry air that's coming down from the north and other factors besides just the plain old water temperature.
Yeah, well, we wanted to get that in because, yeah, with Fausto being that first hurricane of the season and with it being a season like it is with El Nino, Hawaii is going to be one of the states we watch. All right, Fox Weather Hurricane Specialist Bryan Norcross for us. Really appreciate it, Bryan. Thank you.